another update. We've now got OutRun game logic implemented. So we have the car, the passengers, the car shadow, controls work. This is actually at the moment running in attract mode. I can switch it to be playable on the keyboard, but because I'm just holding my phone, I'm not doing that right now. So you'll just have to take it from me that it's playable and running. I've actually done a reasonable amount of optimization since the last video. So believe it or not, this is actually running slightly faster than the previous build was. That's mostly because there's been optimizations to a lot of the sprite rendering and the core game code as well. So whilst it's not spectacularly fast at the moment, it hasn't slowed down despite, you know, all the new details. You can see the car smoke there when it's changing gear and that sort of thing. By the way, this number here is actually just the speed in kilometers per hour. So overall, it's coming together quite nicely. I think probably some of the big optimizations that I'll end up doing are probably I will end up not using like a chunky to planar routine for like the top portion of the screen. It is sometimes used, but I can save a lot of computational time, I think, by just actually having that as a bit plane and then using it as a status bar or a HUD. Also as well, on some of the levels, I'll trim down the scenery for 030 machines in order to ensure that they run a little bit faster, like doing this many sprites. In fact, just drawing that many sprites in general, splitting that much data, in fact, you know, it's just very, very processor intensive. But overall, this is kind of running pretty good at the moment. Obviously, some of the levels, like the next one, Gateway with all the archways, quite challenging in terms of the amount of sprites it's pushing. So I'll try. What I quite like to do as well is actually just, if I just disable, I'm just going to disable the AI, and I'm going to see if I can. I'm just going to see if I can. Maybe I can get it to crash, just to show you the crash code. I've just re-enabled the AI. Let's just get it moving again, and we will steer into something. If you go into second gear in OutRun, which is like high gear, you'll get the car flip. If you're in low gear, you'll get a spin or a bump. So I'm just going to sort of like, what I'm going to do here is just turn into these things. There we go. All right, yes. So you can see the car flips working and stuff like that. Obviously, this level itself is very slow because you've got just an enormous amount of overdraw and sprites. So probably on an 030, what you'll end up with is like 1 in 2 of these. Maybe 1 in 3, just to get the speed up, because I don't really think the frame rate right now is acceptable. Just to be clear, it's far too slow. But you know, overall things are working really nicely. What we've got to do next is really get the traffic in so it doesn't feel so lonely. Get some sort of HUD. Then that's kind of the game engine done, really. Like the core game engine is done. So that's really cool.